What is up guys, so today we'll be talking about some easy solo gold farms in TBC Classic that you can take advantage of. These will be open world gold farms, so you should expect some competition from mob tanks, but because of the layering system I do expect there to be a little bit less competition than you might actually think on some of these farms. These are incredibly easy gold farms where you will have to use very little brain power, and I like to think of them of more chill and relaxed gold farms that actually do give a decent gold per hour. Most of them involve farming for primals, but I have included a non-primal farm as well that I think will actually be really decent. If you are interested in making gold in TBC, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as gold making is what I really enjoy doing in the game itself, and it will always be the focus of the content that I'm making, and I want to help you guys make as much gold as possible. So with that said, let's go. Farm number 1 is a primal water gold farm where I would recommend being a druid because it's farmed underwater. Druids can move faster underwater with their aquatic form, as well as the fact that they have endless breathing underwater. I have personally tested this farm on a level 65 druid, and I managed to make 40 gold per hour in raw vendor values, and I also got about 10 primal water in that same time period. Going here as level 70 would speed it up a lot and make it even more effective, and with the best possible setup and as little competition as possible, I can easily see this farm going above 200 gold per hour, probably closer to 250 and even 300, depending on when in the expansion itself you are farming this. The next farm requires a little bit more brain power because it's technically a farming route that includes a bit of different mobs in one big route, and the reason why I made the route like this is when you finish killing the last mob, the mob at the beginning of the route should have respawned. The reason I bring this route up now is because you can see the route itself is located right next to the lake we just talked about for the Primal Water Gold Farm. So if you want to, you can incorporate that farm into the farm as well. The blue lines on the route is where you should fly because there's no mobs there. On the northern part of the route you will focus on killing damp scale basilisks for the damp scale basilisk eye, as well as the Chunko Basilisk, which is the basilisk meat you can cook into stat food with cooking, both of which will be in high demand throughout the entire expansion. In the southern part of the route you will focus on killing Dreadfang Lurkers, aka spiders, for the Netweb Spider Silk. If I was to estimate a gold per hour from this farming route, I would say around 200 gold per hour, if you have the optimal setup for it, and with as little competition as possible. The drop rate of Netherweb Spider Silk doesn't seem like it's too good, but by incorporating those basilisks you will more than make up for it, and the reason I incorporate those spiders into the farm is that once you're level 70 you will kill these basilisks way faster than they respawn, so you need to utilize the downtime while waiting for respawns. The next farm is another one I've tried myself and I really enjoy, which is killing bug lords in Sangormarsh. These bug lords have a pretty good loot table, giving you the chance of getting primal life, or I guess I should say motes of life, which will give you most of your gold per hour from the farm. However, you will also get about 50 to 60 gold per hour in trash items as well, and you can also loot bug lord tendrils and unidentified plant parts, which are reputation items you might be able to sell to other players for a little bit of extra gold. These bug lords can also be herbed after killing them, so farming here on a character with herbalism will greatly increase your gold per hour, as you will get even more motes of life when herbing the mobs themselves, plus you have the chance of getting some outland herbs. I did this on a level 65 druid without herbalism, and I managed to get myself 60 raw gold from vendoring and 11 primal life from 1 hour of farming. If we assume primal life would sell for 20 gold each, that would mean I would have gotten 280 gold per hour from 1 hour of farming here on a level 65 character, so if you go here as a level 70 with some heroic dungeon gear, you can kill them even faster, giving you even more gold. Plus if you simply bring herbalism, you can bring that number up as well. This is probably going to be heavily camped though, because I mean, even getting 60 gold raw from vendor items is really good, and I can imagine if you go here at level 70, that number will be closer to 100 gold per hour from vendor items, then add primal lives and reputation items, and herbalism on top of that, it's going to be insane. Under optimal circumstances, I would assume you can make upwards of 400 gold per hour from this farm, but if we're talking realistic gold per hour, I'm going to say 200 to 300 gold per hour. Another really good primal gold farm is the Earth and Fire Elemental farm in the middle of Shadowmoon Valley. These are a little bit higher level, but once you're able to go here, there's so many mobs available, and with the layering system on top of that, there's always going to be some mobs up here. You will find Fire Elementals and Earth Elementals all along the lava river in the middle. I would estimate probably 30 mobs per layer, and enough mobs for 1 to 3 people per layer, which isn't too good, but it's better than nothing, and with so many different good primal gold farms out there, I expect this one to at least be doable. You will want to focus on the Fire Elementals, as Primal Fire will sell for quite a bit more gold than Primal Earth, but really just grab anything you can. Realistic gold per hour from here is probably going to be between 200 and 250 gold per hour, maybe less if there's lots of competition for the mob tags. There's also a really good location for farming Primal Mana in Netherstorm at this location. Over here you will find tons of different mana elementals which you can farm. The location itself is great, there's tons of mobs available, and they also have a pretty decent respawn rate. That being said, this is one of the more known gold farming locations from TBC that even retail Andes know about, because it's been a decent gold farm in retail as well for a long time now, so I would expect quite a bit of competition. Your total gold per hour will be made up of Primal Mana and raw vendor loot plus your regular world drop items, and I would expect that under optimal circumstances, you can get over 200 gold per hour from this farm. The last specific farm that I'll mention today is an Elemental Air farm in Shadowmoon Valley. This farm will be insane when it comes to value, because Primal Air will most likely be the most expensive out of all of the primals. Your gold per hour from this farm will be made up of 80% Primal Air, and the rest will be vendor items, but I would expect a ton of competition for the farm itself. There's not too many mobs available, so competing for mob tags will be really destructive to your gold per hour from this farm, but with that said, if you can find a layer where you have these mobs to yourself, you are looking at an easy 500 gold per hour. Apart from that, another way to make a lot of gold early in TBC Classic is simply by rushing to level 70, buying Epic Flying, and fly around Outland with Herbalist and Mining. The gold per hour you will make from that is absolutely disgusting. However, some people find that a bit boring, which is why I wanted to talk about some different gold farms that do involve killing some mobs as well. Fishing will also be really good gold, and you can actually fish up motes of water, aka primal water, so if you want another really chill and relaxed way of making gold, fishing is definitely worth skilling up as well. So there it is guys, that's at least a couple of easy solo gold farms you can do in TBC Classic, either while leveling or at max level. Hopefully you found it helpful or useful, hopefully you're able to use these gold farms to make lots of gold in TBC, and remember that if you do want more gold farming content, make sure you subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, take the time to slap the like button for the YouTube algorithm as well, which makes YouTube happy, it also makes me happy, and it makes you happy, everyone's happy. Okay, that's pretty much it though, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.